what are you paying attention to? We found out starters are going to play some. What do you want to see from the starters in the final preseason game?
Yeah, I just want to see them be able to move the ball effectively with Flacco. Similar to what we saw in Philly last week during the joint practices, if they're able to just kind of get up and down the field a little bit. I also, specific to the offense, like I want to see what this run game looks like because I think day two against the Eagles, you started to see the run game be a little more effective than it was on day one, and maybe the most effective it had been all camp. We know, like I said, Quinshon Judkins don't know when he's going to show up, and that sort of throws a wrench in their plans at running back just in general. So understanding that, like you don't have him to maybe mask some problems that you maybe hoped when you have like a standout back at that position. And so, can they produce what's needed from an offensive standpoint to sort of build the offense around that run game that we know is going to be so pivotal to their identity. So I want to see at least the early remnants of that and kind of what that looks like. And I think defensively, just can the secondary, especially with Greg Newsome out there, it doesn't sound like Denzel Ward is playing on Saturday. He obviously wasn't at practice today yet again. So, and I think that's fine, honestly. Put him in bubble wrap. I honestly don't even need to see like Miles on defense if we're being honest. I wouldn't if they put Joe Bitonio on bubble wrap, if they put Jerry Judy in bubble wrap, I would be okay with it because frankly, like that's a position group where you just can't afford to lose your top guy. But yeah, I think on defense, seeing what the secondary kind of does and how they use different players in different roles, especially like I said, without some of the depth that we were hoping for. And Greg Newsome coming off this shoulder issue that he's been dealing with for a couple weeks, like what does he look like as he's playing outside now instead of in the slot? So just some of the things I'll kind of have my eyes on, and obviously a few individual guys like Huntington, like we mentioned, who maybe are fighting for a roster spot this last week to sort of see what I think my 53-man roster prediction, my final one will look like come Sunday.